Hey, what's up, YouTube? I'm here making segments. It's the beginning of it's close to the new year. I will upload these faster, but I feel like one upload a day like stops you from like losing your brain. But like, I got at least like 12 more segments to go. So you're dropping one every day. Every day I make 6 segments and I upload so fast and I do so much work that like you getting mad segments per day. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'm hungry. What's up? Take me out to dinner. Hey, yo. The Democratic Party is self-destructive. Here's why.
Just ended Joe Biden's giant dreams. But here's the thing. That may save Joe Biden in the long run. Because if Joe
Okay, you smoking dick now.
Biden actually got Build Back Better and inflation continued to spiral out of control.
You smoking dick. Like you smoke like we literally just passed a $780 billion military budget. If we dissolved our military for 1 year, all that shit could be paid for. With a tax on the wealthy and just like for 1 year, y'all got to live off what you got. We would be set. We wouldn't even need to like think about over 10 years. It would just be done. Like, yeah, America would be under construction for like a good like 8 months, but like every project could be finished. Every project could be finished. We could, if we gave a quarter of the military budget to the infrastructure to build Medicare for all as an internal and external system, including doctorate programs, including paying for it off rip and everything, we would literally make our money back by the next year. I've done the math on that and I've done it on this stream, so I'm not going to do it again. But like, it's ridiculous how like the money is there and people still ask how we're going to pay for it. Like,
and the economy continued to stagnate. It just would not redound to Joe Biden's benefit. Now, I still think that the Democrats get shellacked in 2022 because they're going to have to own whatever comes next. And nothing great is happening for the next
don't you own some bitches? Own this dick in your mouth.
Year or so. Inflation is going to last well into next year. At this point, that is being conceded by the Federal Reserve. The economy is not growing the way it is supposed to grow.
It's growing faster. That's like this came out okay before the CDC made their fucking ruling, but like the irony though, the irony that this doesn't hold up in hindsight, but this video's still up. You'll never catch me on a video. You'll never catch a video I ever upload or anything I ever say on Twitch that if new information didn't come out, I would literally retcon my previous video. And I'm going to tell you just off rip, I know he didn't retcon in this video.
The Democrats have created a box of their own making. They cannot get out of it with regard to COVID. The COVID panic mentality that they relied upon for world-breaking change has actually broken their world.
Because there are 50 fucking Republican senators. Like, I get the blaming of Joe Manchin. Like, we're not, we went into that shit. But like, at the same time, there's also an entire opposition that won't bulge. Yeah, that was right.
Adding on top of that, a $5 trillion package would not have redounded to Joe Biden's benefit. So Manchin killing it might counterintuitively be actually quite good for Joe Biden. See, it took Bill Clinton the 1994 election before he realized that Hillary Care and giant capital gains tax increases, that these things were very unpopular with the American people.
American conservatives, rich people.
The way the American people sounded off was by giving Republicans their first congressional majority in 3 decades. Well, Joe Biden...
That's not true either.
You know, he's getting the wake-up call early, but he's not getting it from a congressional election. He's getting it from a member of his own party in the form of Joe Manchin. Nonetheless, the Democrats are really, really angry over all of this naturally, as you would expect them to be, because... Again,
why aren't the Republicans mad at it? Why aren't Republican voters mad at it? Child tax credits went to everybody. Stimulus checks went to everybody. Remember the whole joke? Oh, I thought you hated Donald Trump. Well, you better give me his check. Oh, but when Biden was giving him out, if you hate Biden, give him his check. Like, we argue about the same shit over and over again. So what you're saying is effectively like the effectiveness of the leader delivers the message better. And that's not a political thing. That's just a human being.
Again, the idea was that now that Joe Biden was in control, they were going to get the Bernie Sanders presidency.
No one said that. No one said that. No one said that. No one said that. Bernie didn't even say that. He was like, I'm gonna be on a panel. I'm gonna be a chairman. I'm gonna see what I could do. But nobody said we was getting a Bernie Sanders presidency. Nobody said that. As a matter of fact, it was through bitter, gritted teeth that Joe Biden won by such a large margin.
They were going to get exactly what they had always wanted. Well, no, that's not going to happen anymore. So Bernie Sanders is now slamming Joe Manchin. Here is the socialist old coot from Vermont, who's now the
socialist old coot. That's the best you got? You got a whole production team with makeup, special mics, branded, leftist tears, the Ben Shapiro show, and that's the best you could come up with?
Thought leader of the Democratic Party, who's been defeated by, as it turns out, a majority of the American population. Let's not pretend that it's Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema alone who are standing against this bill, because that's not true. 52 senators stand against this bill.
No, I didn't just say that. I didn't just say that. You then say it at the end of all of that as if that isn't the bigger gut punch. Like, why are all the Republicans against everything the Democrats do? I wonder if 20 of them motherfuckers was like, yeah, this is actually a good idea. What type of conversation will we be having? It's a bipartisanship. Reach across the aisle. Reach for my dick across the aisle and grab my balls while you're at it.
A majority of the Senate. This is not a matter of minority controlling. This is a matter of a majority controlling. And here's Bernie Sanders, though, who is lamenting.
Using the majority argument when you have two holdouts from a side that's supposed to be united, it's a dick move. And it's crazy because I just fucking said that.
This as he thinks fondly of Stalin.
Just play the thinks fondly of Stalin.
As he thinks fondly of Stalin.
I think he's going to have a lot of explaining to do to the people of West Virginia to tell them why he doesn't have the guts to take on the drug companies and lower the cost of prescription drugs, why he is not prepared to expand home health care. West Virginia is one of the poorest states in this country. You got elderly people and disabled people who would like to stay at home or forced into nursing homes. He's going to have to tell the people of West Virginia why he doesn't want to expand Medicare to cover dental, hearing, and eyeglasses. I've been to West Virginia a number of times, and it's a great state, beautiful people, but it is a state that is struggling.
Where the fuck is the Stalin in that? Intellectual giant.
Okay, so I would just like to point out here that Bernie Sanders would not be elected dog catcher in West Virginia. So Bernie Sanders giving advice to Joe Manchin, who's been elected as a blue senator in a very red state repeatedly, is laughable.
Just, why do you keep saying the thing and then taking back the thing?
If Bernie Sanders believes that his agenda is so popular, why wasn't he the nominee in the first place? And again,
you smoking dick for that one.
I will never get over the fact that Joe Biden is such a fool that he was elected as a moderate and then he swung to the Bernie Sanders side of the aisle. It's totally crazy to me.
He didn't. He fucking didn't. This whole video is you explaining how he didn't.
Okay, Alexander Ocasio-Cortez is also jumping.
Man, it don't even fucking matter. It's just immediately, please AOC send me feet pics. I need you so bad. I can't get my wife's pussy wet, and it just makes me so mad. And I just wish that I could have a chance to know what your socks smell like.
Jumping into the fray. So she tweeted out, when a handful of us in the House warned this would happen if Democratic leaders gave Manchin everything he wanted first by moving the infrastructure plan before Build Back Better, instead of passing it together, many ridiculed our position. Maybe they'll believe us next time, or maybe people will just keep calling us naive. Either way, we cannot accept no for an answer. Democratic leadership, including but not limited to the president himself and House Democratic leadership, wrote a massive check on their credibility the night of the Biff vote in order to secure the votes they needed, promising passage of Build Back Better to every member who brought up Manchin. They personally promised they had a solution and Build Back Better would pass. It is simply not an option for Democratic leaders to walk away from Build Back Better, voting rights, etc. They must find a way, just as they promised they would when we raised this inevitability. Some of us don't have the luxury of giving up. We serve working, middle class, and poor people. We serve everyday workers getting ripped off, and immigrants, and black communities, and queer kids needing shelter. We will not walk away from them. And leadership can't walk away from them either.
That's literally true. That's literally what you just said. And you know, when people use the word literally, especially our generation, like we always make the joke, that's literally what just happened, when we don't really mean literally, but that word for word, bar for, he took my whole flow, word for word, bar for bar. Like, where's the lie?
People can be mad at Manchin all they want, but we knew he would do this months ago. Where we need answers are the leaders who promised a path on Build Back Better if Biff passed. Biden and Democratic leaders. They chose to move Biff alone instead of with Build Back Better, not Manchin, so they need to fix it. We, as always, says AOC, are here to fight for this agenda. What matters most to us is that it gets done. But we cannot just shrug our shoulders and accept this as some Charlie Brown moment. Our entire democracy is on the line, so we need to get back in there and get this bleep done. Period. So, Slay Queen. Yeah, go for it.
Are these not the political people that they be asking for? Is this not what they saw Trump as? We need to get this shit done. Like that copy. We promise people this and we're going to get it done. Is that not what Ben Shapiro has been saying Trump was doing the whole time while the media railed him? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Seriously, go for it. The entire progressive wing of the party is super mad that they even got built the infrastructure plan. So it seems that AOC is still committed to the idea that if the progressives had voted no on
literally died today, they didn't die,
and they held together
die.
Build Back Better and infrastructure, that Manchin would have voted for that. No, he wouldn't have. Literally the only thing.
Okay, in 2022, we're dropping, you know, if Simon Miller can do it, I could do it. We're going to get a counter for the times that not only I say the word literally, but how many times in whatever content that we read or watch that the word literally is used. And if that counter goes up above 150, I'm diving in an ice cold pool on stream. I'm doing a hot tub stream. If it goes above 150, I'm doing a hot tub stream.
That Joe Manchin would have voted for is the infrastructure plan. He was not going to vote for both. The only way possibly he might have voted for both is if Republicans were the ones obstructing the infrastructure plan, right? That was the Romney logic.
But that's what they're doing, though.
But they weren't. Joe Manchin was not going to vote for a $7 trillion package because AOC and Ilhan Omar wanted it. These people are out.
Because two heads wanted it. One person wasn't going to do it, as if 70% of Americans didn't poll to want this stuff across the aisle. Ooh, I want a Kimbo slice. It's right through my monitor.
Out of their minds. They truly do seem to think that like small boroughs in New York govern the entire country. And that senators are not answerable to their home states. And Ilhan Omar joined the crew. She slammed Manchin as well. Here is the horrible congresswoman from Minnesota.
We all knew that Senator Manchin couldn't be trusted. You know, the excuses that he just made, I think, are complete bullshit. It is really disheartening to hear him say that he has been trying to get there for the people of West Virginia, because that's a complete lie. There are just so many things that, you know, the people of West Virginia desperately need. And we know that he is not working on behalf of their interest. And I really am just completely disappointed and disgusted by his reasoning.
Well, I mean, if the people of West Virginia don't love Ilhan Omar, I mean, wow. I mean, when she speaks, the people of West Virginia listen. That is definitely a state, West Virginia, where Ilhan Omar, I'm sure, is wildly popular. Her perspectives.
But it just gives people shit that they need.
Are super popular in West Virginia. Again, the delusional nature of progressives who think they have a national program, as opposed to the reality of politics, which is you're always cobbling together a coalition to do incremental things. That is most of politics. And then,
no, it is not. Modern incrementalism is going to be the death of this country if capitalism doesn't swallow it whole first.
it turns out Joe Biden did not have a mandate for anything remotely like this. It's amazing. And they will continue deluding themselves along these lines, the progressives, which means that Joe Biden should get with the program, right? If he had any brains at all, if he didn't have mush for brains at this point, which, I mean, physically mush for brains.
Imagine you just gave people $3,000 a month for 12 months and then was like, instead of us doing all the Medicare for all and stuff, we just gave you the money that you pay with your taxes and you can do whatever the fuck you want. Landslide. Yes, that's buying votes, but like at the same time, landslide.
Brains. Then he would probably be pushing for a piecemeal approach to a lot of this legislation.
Did she talk about why she was horrible with it? Like, no.
I don't know if Joe Biden can get there.
No.
He's so afraid of the progressive wing, because they're the most motivated wing, even though they represent a tiny percentage of his party, that he's going to continue pushing this. It's utterly insane. I hope.
No, it's utterly insane is me thinking that I was going to find some type of rational thought in a Ben Shapiro video. My bad.